All right, less than 24 hours out from race day, which means today we got pre-race routine, keeping it easy. We got 4 easy miles in the afternoon. I do some strides afterwards, a little bit of strength work. Tomorrow, 8 a.m. is our race day. So let's get going on the easy run.
We got a ride, we got the night. I got the bottle, you got the light. We got the stars, we got audio. We're gonna fly, we're getting high. You got the moon dust, I got the sky. We got the stars, we got audio. Make the bum bum beat, I'll give you melody. Make the bum bum beat, I'll give you melody. Make the song so sweet, you gon' come home with me. Make the bum bum beat, I'll give you melody. Make the bum bum beat, I'll give you melody. Make the song so sweet, you gon' come home with me.
So strides are done on most easy days, but especially pre-race days. Just do a couple, 3 or 4, 50 to 100 meter faster little sprints. And the reason for this is mainly just to get your legs moving fast before you go into your race tomorrow. And also, partially, for me at least, just making sure you don't shock the system when you show up tomorrow morning and have to run your race pace. You've been running faster a little bit recently. Not a lot, but just prime the legs. Okay, it is 5:45 right now, so race starts in 3 hours. I got everything laid out, packed up, ready to go. So I'm gonna do some stretching, I'm gonna eat some breakfast, but this will be the last little clip before I go race. You'll see all of that, but ready to go. Got a couple hours left, and yeah, I'm ready, so I'll catch you at the end.
Gonna make a heart throb out of me. Just a bit of minor surgery. These desperate times call for desperate measures. I'll give you something to cry about. Show some skin and would be cachet. How could you let this get to desperate measures now? For a first effort, this feels kinda last ditch. I guess this just got kinda drastic. Trust us, you just fell off the bus, baby. I can't let this, I can't let this, I can't let this go. I can't let this, I can't let this go. I can't let this, I can't let this go. When I got you right where I want you. I've been pushing for this for so long. Kiss me just once for luck. These are desperate measures now. I can't let this, I can't let this. Have a piece of American dream. Open up and swallow on your knees and say thank you. I'd like some desperate measures, please.
So let's talk about this race. Today is Sunday, so that means race was yesterday morning, and I have a few thoughts to share, a couple of things to go over. So if you watch my pre-race week video, you would know that going into this, my main goal was about an hour and 25 minutes. For some context on this goal, the last time I raced anything similar to a half marathon would be the Chicago Marathon last October. During that race, I came through the half in about an hour 27, give or take, and then my Garmin said I split an hour 25, somewhere in that race. So that was the goal. I wanted to get below an hour and 25 for a flat-out half marathon. Of course, I would like to get down to an hour 20, but an hour 25 was my reasonable goal for this race. What does that mean? That means I would have to split about a 6:28 minute per mile or faster throughout the course of the race. Showing up, that was my entire plan. Showed up yesterday morning, it was about 35 degrees when we got to the race, and then an hour later when the race started, it was probably closer to 40. So I didn't need, a winter hat or anything like that. It was about perfect weather, very little wind, and yeah, it was great conditions for the race. And I'll say, to preface everything overall, I don't think there was anything that really could have gone better. There's always room for improvements and little, nitpicky things here and there, but overall, it was pretty much the best I could ask for. So the race started around 8:45, and there was maybe couple hundred people in this race, and so overall, in the group that I was in, there was only 4 or 5 of us for the first 2 or 3 miles who were really, running together around the same goal, around the same pace, and that was that. And so at one point around mile 3, we split off, and it was me and one other guy. We were rolling around 9th and 10th place, I think, for a lot of the race. We talked a little bit. We said that we're both going for the same goal, about an hour 25. And so we decided to run together for at least the foreseeable future. So again, you'll see this. I can put the splits up here. For the first 7 miles, I ran with him, and we were anywhere from 6:20 to 6:25. So we were on pace for below that 1 hour, 25 minute goal. When we got to mile 7, we were running through some neighborhoods, and I started to feel a little bit better. I could hear him breathing a little heavier than me. I knew I was kind of two-stepping him a little bit, trying to get him to keep up. We started running, 6:15, 6:10, whatever. And so I decided at that point that I was going to kind of, leave him behind as I was going towards more of that hour 20 pace for the last 6 miles of the race. And so that's what I did. Around mile 7, 7.5, I started to slowly take the splits down a little bit, closer to, 6:10, 6:05, 6 flat. And one of the things that I think, could have been changed for the future is I decided around mile 7 that was the time that I wanted to start, cranking it a little bit. I'd say maybe in the future leave that till mile 8 or 9, because I did feel that fatigue towards the end of the race. But again, mile 7 was where I decided I was going to go. I was going to start trying to catch some people. Between miles 8 and probably 11 or 12, that's when I did the bulk of the work for this race. So that's when the work really got done. So I started splitting 6 flat, 5:55, 5:55. There was a 5:45 in there somewhere. I think that was my last split. But miles 8 to 11 and probably 12, there was a couple hills there, but the course was mostly flat. I went from, 10th place down to, I think I finished 6th. And so that's when, I really started to work, and I started to put in some good splits, which I was super happy with, because coming into this race, my tempo pace was about 6:10, 6:15 per mile. And so to see at the end of this race, I was still splitting 5:55s, that was, a super positive thing to see. So just looking at the splits here on my phone, I see mile 8 was 6:03. Then I went 5:56 for 9, 5:54 for 10, 6 for 11, 5:59 for 12, and then 5:48 for 13. So now, I haven't had a race like that in a long time where I've actually gotten faster consistently throughout. I haven't died at the end. Now, not to say that it wasn't hard at the end. Of course, the last 12 and 13 miles I was redlining. I was definitely getting there, and I definitely felt it in my legs and my lungs. And they put a hill in at like mile 12.5, which was just kind of mean. But looking at the splits, I was super happy with it. I think going into the last couple miles, I knew there was a chance that I could possibly get below that 120 mark, but I would have had to run like a couple of 5:30s in there to knock off that minute or so that I ended up with. But finishing time was 1 hour and 21 minutes and 4 seconds. 6th overall in the race, 2nd in my age group, so I got this little coaster as an age group award. But overall, I was super happy with the weekend. I was super happy with the race, the organization, everything that went on. And, there's not much that I can say I would improve on. So the question now is, what does this mean moving forward? What's the plan for the next month, for the next season, for the next year? And I'll get into that in a later video. But right now, so I'm sitting at my 2 goals for the year. I wanted to run a 17:35K, and I wanted to run a 1:15 Half Marathon. So I'm well on my way to that 1:15 Half Marathon. I'll have another shot in the summer, and then again, as I get more fit, maybe towards the end of the year in September, October, I'll have a shot at that. I'm running a 5K in 2 weeks, so the season isn't over yet. After that, we'll take a break. But I am running a 5K in 2 weeks, so we're back to work for the next week and a half before we get to that race. But that's the plan moving forward. Again, it's just getting back to work, getting a little bit more fitness wherever we can, and seeing races on the schedule. But again, overall, super positive weekend, super positive race. The environment was good. It wasn't super crowded. Ran a fast time. It felt good. Great people. So yeah, that was race weekend. I'm going to throw up a couple images if I have them from race weekend, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will enjoy the ones to come. We got a lot planned for the following seasons and this year, so stay tuned.